Lieutenant Taiwo Ogunwumi, who joins us now from Abuja. Taiwo, it's nice to have you join us this afternoon.
Okay, thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you.
Now there seems to be much emphasis on what the federal government should do and is not doing. Yet we have state governments, we have local governments who are supposed to be closer or even closest to the people. And when it comes to preparing the people on a daily basis, and even when we have the dry weather, we don't seem to have efforts from all of those institutions at that level. What do you think we should be doing differently?
I think it becomes so much important that at this point in time, we understand that everybody have a role to play in terms of responding and preventing floods. And not just the federal government alone, the state government and local government also have a very tangible role to play, including the people. And if you look at this current year flood, you will understand that we have a very, very low preparedness, despite the fact that the federal government released some early warning information that there will be flood in some couple of states. But the thing is that to what extent are they prepared? To what extent are the state government themselves create an evacuation plan? To what extent do they engage in house-to-house flood campaign? To what extent do they create some form of a policy that can go against the waste disposing at some of the drainage? And if you look at this, you understand that within the state level, there's less action that have been taken in previous to the flood. And without this, there's no way we can solve it. It's quite very, very important that the solution to flood must start right from the grassroots, and that's from the state and the local government level. And more so, if you truly see what happened after the flood, you realize that we have a very, very low emergency response. Why? Because the state emergency response are not equipped enough to respond to these floods.
All right, you talk about emergency response. Now, take us into that world. When we talk about emergency response, what is the ideal situation, especially narrowing it down to the flood in Benue, in Kogi State, and some parts, Anambra State, Bayelsa State, River State, and all of that? Those who are affected, if we have to respond the way it's supposed to be, what's the ideal situation? What is it supposed to be like?
Number one thing is that this situation, even prior to now, that we are expecting flood, is that we should have created an evacuation housing facilities for them ahead of time, not now. And if you look at it, you also realize that the floods continue to increase more and day after day. And when you hear people, they will tell you that they don't have any support from the government. There should have been some couple of kits that the victim can make use of pending the time. And when you look at it right now, you realize that a lot of people are just displaced, living in some of the uncompleted buildings, and there's no provision for them. We know that this flood is coming for the past month. There should have been some couple of supplies, medical kits, and response kits that can be available, that will have been in store, that we should have been available to them in this period of time. But that is not available. And that's part of what we see when we're talking about emergency response. It means that there must be a quick response to people. You see, many people are being carried away by this water. There is no helicopter that can just pick up people right from time. There is no even access to cars and vehicles that can move people, to a more safer zone. And these are one of the things that is a very, very gap when it comes to emergency response in Nigeria.
All right, now we know that